Someone at the door jar, now I'm here to stay. Tell me who the fuck gonna face the music? More brick laying, less screen time. Been cutting back on the daily usage. Long road for the road dogs, put the whip miles from a soapbox. Got BKTs on this bitch, so everybody getting rolled on, yeah. Yeah, everybody getting rolled on. Check artist credits on BMI. I'm just too kind to expose y'all. And I see a team with the ghost sign and question if y'all ever wrote songs. All enemies of mine a band study. Please don't test me, I'm a know-it-all. Got platinum songs in the vault collecting dust. If we talk about showing up, then y'all attend us up. Both feet on the gas pedal.
All right, guys, we're cooking some grub. We've been wanting to do this for a minute, but we're gonna do a breakfast Q&A on a rooftop. And we decided to get some portable stuff. Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, portable stove.
Portable stuff?
Yeah.
So we're super stoked, but we're gonna grab real quick and then we're gonna start the Q&A.
I'm too busy getting hyphy. 2 full-time jobs, when the fuck does he rest? Never when you want 10, teed up like Titleist on my friends. I'm in this shit to the end. I'm Gilmore with the drive to feel more on my mind, yeah. I'm still sore from the heavy lifting that I've had to do, but it's fine. How many legs I got up on a ship resembling a whole centipede? Worried one-sided with the competition. I've been residing where the rent is free. I got brothers and I got acquaintances. Why nobody is a friend of me? Fam roots deeper than an evergreen. Clear us and them, got a separate creed by any means.
All right, guys. I put down a Q&A questions on Instagram, and I'm gonna answer some of those questions, so stick around and one of your questions may be featured. But we're gonna dive into it. Drew's gonna ask me some of the questions. I'm gonna give you my peace of mind.
All right, first question from Christian Vernon. He asked, how do you block out the distractions so you can fully focus on your goals?
I've always said this in the past, but it's like something I stick to, just separating yourself to elevate yourself. The first 30 days is easily the hardest when you're trying to make a change. A big thing that I did was writing down daily tasks. What I realized over time is when I was staying busy and focusing on my goals, it was easier to keep going versus when I wasn't doing anything, because I'd always run back to the things that were holding me back. But you will eventually get to a point where you meet people that are like-minded, and in my life I'm at that point, like Drew, like Aaron, Taylor, and Jace, my designers. All of us have a similar goal, and when you have that in your life, it's a lot easier to keep going because we hang out on a daily basis and it's pretty much work. We all have an end goal and it's similar, but I would say you just gotta separate yourself to elevate yourself and everything will come together. I'm telling you right now, it gets easier the more that you do it, so just keep going. You'll eventually never look back.
Okay, Kippy LDV asked, are you afraid of something?
I don't know, that's a hard one. I've molded my mindset and my mentality in a way where I don't really have a fear of failure in anything that I do. But in the past, that was something that I dealt with and I struggled with. I don't know, are you afraid of something?
Like my biggest fear is dying before I'm able to produce something that can live on past me dying, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that's definitely my biggest fear.
Yeah, not reaching your full potential.
Yeah.
Something happening. I do have one fear. Super weird, but I used to dream about my mom dying, like in car crashes over and over.
Oh yeah, that's my biggest fear, dude. Whenever my mom dies, bro.
Yeah, like, and I need to succeed. I live my life like it's a race. Like I feel like I'm never going to take a day off because I need to have her see it. I need her to be around and feel that success, because when your kid succeeds, you succeed, you know? I want to build something so big where I can just fill that with my mom and she can be happy.
All right, next question. Michael Partlow asked, what's one goal you want to accomplish by the end of this year?
I said I wasn't gonna mention this. We're in the process of building a course. It's gonna be a molding your mindset course, building your mentality, showing you the process of everything that I did on a daily basis to build habits, build discipline. And I have Drew doing all of that stuff with me, and we've been dialed in on it. And I really want to put that out there. If you're around 18 or 19 and you're struggling to find your purpose, we could help you in a significant way. Because Drew's pretty young, he's 18 years old, and we've just been dialing in on this. And I know for a fact, like, he's well more mature than an 18-year-old, and he's at that point where he notices where he can make an impact too. And I think We're gonna put out a few courses, even possibly a how to become a creator course, and we'll build that for Drew. Another thing is hiring a full team for ICE. I think by the end of the year, we'll have a team to 10 to 15 people. We'll be hiring soon, and there will be applications. If you're into content creation, if you're into marketing, if you're into our brand, what we stand for, our mission, stick around, I'll keep you guys updated.
Alrighty, next question. This is from Chris of Sass _ asked, any short film like Attracting Greatness coming in the near future? Yeah.
I'm building a short story series. They're gonna be called Friday Nights, but we're gonna push our limits, and we always wanna test our creativity and just grow and stay uncomfortable. Building that up and doing that series of short stories will really push us and help us progress as videographers and creators. It may be a month, it may be 2 months, but we're not going to drop that till it's perfect.
Next question, Nase Madbedel asked, how'd you mature from the bar scene? And how did you meet people with the same mindset?
I like that question. Honestly, that was the biggest thing that I struggled with. Literally every single one of my friends that I grew up with, ever since we were like 13, we were drinking, we were partying, all the way up to 22. And I'm 24 now, and I'm finally away from that. It took that long, but I would say the biggest thing was just getting away from everything. This is what it really came down to. I always talked about all the things that I wanted to do, but I never did anything. And you eventually get to a point, once you start doing stuff, you talk less. So when people aren't saying shit, it's usually when they're doing more. Getting away from my friends and just cutting them off and moving to a new city was a big thing for me, and it helped a lot. But this is how it really went. I have a few close friends. 2 of my designers for ICE Athletic Club are my best friends. I grew up with them since I was 4 and 5. I always said this stuff to them, that I want to make a change, but how could they believe that when I never stuck to anything that I said? So I separated myself, and eventually they followed. They saw I was making a change, and the right people will follow. You just have to be that person that stands up and decides to make a change. I was by myself for a while before I met like-minded people. I would have never crossed paths with Drew if I was the person I was 2 years ago. Me and Drew crossed paths straight through social media, just because we're both videographers, we're both creators. So I would say getting away from that scene is hard, but prioritize getting really good at something and you'll meet the right people.
Another thing is do it as early as you can. I mean, I'm 18 and I feel like I'm a step ahead of a lot of people in the situation that I have, mainly because I got into a trap where I felt I was getting drawn into situations with my friends that just weren't good for me and took me away from like the success I could definitely achieve. Through that, I feel like since I did that at a young age, I was able to do a lot more in the small amount of time that I had. So finding that, understanding what's in front of you and pushing it away as quickly as you can is something I highly recommend to you. So,
and it usually is the closest people to you.
And it's hard to cut those people off, but you just have to see the big picture. Next question, 70 Home Memes asked, how do you deal with your mental health?
You really need to understand that life is all about balance. There's going to be points in your life where you're really high and you're bound to drop down. So what you really need to focus on is just learning to flow. Don't become so attached to one feeling. I was in a position where I was at the happiest point of my life like a month ago, and I was telling Drew, because we were pushing so much content, we were doing so much, and it just felt like everything was going exactly as planned. Just got to the point, like out of nowhere, where I just woke up, like we were pushing so much content, and my mental health was not okay. And I told Drew the other day that it's like this all the time. I'm the happiest I've ever been for 2 months, and then out of nowhere, for a couple of weeks, I'm like at my lowest point ever. What I've learned over time is you just can't become attached to that feeling. You can't become attached to your highest of highs. Just learn to flow through the moment, because all of us are dealing with our personal struggles, but we're all on the same wave. A lot of us are gonna be happy one moment, next thing you know, we're sad, we can't get out of bed. But that's just how life is. Everything's balanced, and that's the best advice I have on that. You wanna touch up on that?
I really just have the same exact mindset. I mean, me and Anthony, I feel like are pretty similar in a lot of ways, and that's one thing that we kind of dealt with at the same time. Like I had a couple months of straight, everything was up. And then it hit me again and I go down. It's kind of a cycle I go through, but figuring out how to stay in the moment and understand, just finding happiness through the progression, the ups and downs, and noticing that nothing lasts forever. So
For sure. With mental health too, discipline is huge. So try to prioritize building habits, building discipline, because even at our lowest of lows, we're still prioritizing our work. It's a lot harder to get through, but that's what I would suggest. Try to build your habits.
Another question we're gonna do real quick. Gui Hermesa asked, when will the next bulk start?
Possibly November, but I'm not sure. I might have Daniels and Mike come out in the spring, and I'm not trying to get absolutely shit on by these calisthenic kings, but most likely in November. It may be a lean bulk though. I don't know if I want to run an entire bulk again, but I may be down, who knows.
Next question will be the last question. This is from Sam Adam Blacklock, and he asked, what is your idea of success?
I would say finding happiness. How I look at it as, you could be the richest person in the world. You could live in one of these buildings in a penthouse and you could be absolutely miserable versus someone that barely can afford their rent but is the happiest person in the world. And I would consider that that person has success over the other person. That's something I've been really focusing on over time, is just building relationships with people. Another thing with me, once I feel like I've completely succeeded in my life, is when I'll be in a position where I can help people in a significant way, where I can change people's lives financially, where I can change people's life through inspiration and motivation, where I could take care of people. I want to take care of my family. I want to take care of my friends. Through Ice Athletic Club, that's always been the goal. I'm always putting people first before me. I'd rather have the people around me succeed and me to live broke for a few years, because whatever you put out into the world, you're always going to get back. And that's what I would say my success is.
So personally, I think success is, I'll change one thing from Anthony's, which is happiness to joy. I feel like happiness is something that can come and go, and it's an up and down. But joy is something that can stay, and that's based everything off of what he said, especially prioritizing relationships. That's one thing that I was not focused on this past year until I met this dude, really. And he really showed me how impacting other people brings yourself so much success and lets everyone grow at a faster rate than you try to push everything just you. And it is a lonelier path whenever it's just by yourself.
And another thing that I wanted to mention on top of what you just said, at the end of the day, we're posting this content for you guys. We don't even end up looking at this content after it's posted. We never look back at footage. All we're looking at is how we can progress, how we can grow, and how we can help you guys in a significant way. Whether that's through inspiration, motivation, learning how to grow and stay uncomfortable, or discovering your true potential. And I think that's the biggest thing, is putting others first once you're in a position to. Because you have to focus on yourself and become the best you, and learn to fall in love with yourself before you can try to help others. And once you get to a point where you start seeing success for yourself, that's when you can help others out. And is that it?
I guess we're gonna end it there.
And that's the Q&A. I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Do me a favor and like and comment on this video. It helps on the algorithm, and we'll be posting next Monday at 9 a.m. Peace out.